looking at the markets. My website, let me bring back up the chat, and I'll give you my website, which is moneymentor.com. And I use oh, you just already did that for me. Thanks.
Beat you
I
to it just
use a
slightly.
few indicators that I have. I'm a mathematician and a programmer and an author of 8 trading books. And I use TradeStation as well. And been trading for 42 years. I'm a professional trader. And that's what I do mostly is trade. And I trade 6.5 hours a day, and then I write books and program the rest of the day. And talk to people and mentor and work with people who want to become traders. But I use an indicator that I call sunny bands, which you can see on this chart. The green lines on the outsides, upper outer band and lower outer band, are the channels that are around my dynamic moving average. And my dynamic moving average is unusual in that it sees the purple and gold lines here in the center. These are different than any other moving averages because they calculate dynamically. They calculate their own lengths. So instead of, a moving average would have length of a fast length of 9 and a slow length of 18. This calculates its own lengths dynamically with every tick of the market. And it works on, let's look here. It works on any time frame and any symbol. So here we're going to have a 5-minute, same thing. And then I look at a daily chart of the same thing, and we still have sunny bands working. Somebody said I should retire by now. I'll retire when I die at this desk. I love what I do. I love trading and I love helping people. So I'm not about to retire. I did retire when I was 30. I sold my little company. I had 105 employees, started with 3, and I retired at age 30, a multimillionaire, and learned to trade. And that's what I've been doing ever since. So I'd like to have some symbols. Anybody that wants me to look at sunny bands with any symbols, I'd be happy to take a look at those. So here's NVIDIA. I agree with Mike. I think we're going to have some lower. Let's look at the weekly time frame. I drew what I call an attractor here. You can see this is where I think price is going to be going down to 338. So I think we've got some drop here, and then I'm going to be buying more. AMC. I'm going to go bowling, I guess. Well, that's going to be lower and lower. I have not only sunny bands on here, I have 3 other indicators. This one, the dotted lines you can see, are the moving averages, the typical moving averages that you see reported in the media. We've got a 200-day moving average, and it says less than 200, which means that this is the 200-day moving average or period moving average. In this case, it's weekly. And price is below that. You can see it says less than 21. So price is also less than the 21 period moving average. And it says less than 55. I use Fibonacci numbers for these two. So price is less than all 3 of these moving averages. It also says slope is minus 49 and it's in red. So I know that the slope of my dynamic moving average, the purple and gold, is negative, which means to me it's going to keep going down further. So AMC on a weekly chart still has lower to go. Let's squeeze this up a little bit and see where we're going. And the attractor, I call things that are, we'll draw a horizontal line in here at this level. And it looks like the attractor is going to act as support at this level. So we might see a bounce. We've got green on the dynamic moving average histogram. So we could see a bounce at this level and go on up a little higher. if we draw Fibonacci lines on things, we can see that from here to here, we've got Fibonacci retracements, and we could go on up to about 134. FNGU, I don't even know what that is. FNGU. What is FNGU? So we've got a weekly chart of FNGU, which is FANG stocks, 3 times 3x. So I don't know if that's 3x short or 3x long. We're going to put some Fibonacci price retracement lines on that. And we're right at this level right here, which is the 23.6, and we should bounce up into the 38 level, which is at 220. And we've got on the histogram, we have price moving or bars moving down, which would say that price is going to go down further. We're right at the flat DMA, that would say price also is going to go down further. So we'll probably go down to the 55 moving average and pick that up and bounce at that level. GUSH. If you could also tell me what these charts are, that would be really nice. This is the daily S&P oil and gas 3 times. And boy, that is flat. So let's look at a daily chart and see if that makes any difference. There we go. So we've got a fairly narrow scale. The attractor on this one is at this level, which is 4302. We'll probably make it to that level. Slope is positive. You can see it's green, tells me it's positive. We're above all 3 of the moving averages, and we've got some room to move up. The histogram's about ready to go above the 0 line. Slope's positive. So we'll probably go on up into this level, which is 43. Palantir, I know that one. Palantir on a daily chart, the attractor on that is up at 20. And the histogram shows me that we have just turned red. That says we're going to go down. Slope is turning negative. It's about to go across the 0 line and be more negative. So we are going down. According to my work, we're going down on Palantir a little more. Probably to the lower outer band at 14, does that say 80? 1480 on Palantir. Hi, Jill. Is this the Jill I know? ANET? If this is Jill, that I know she's a student of mine. Hi, Jill. This one's got it. We'll squeeze this up together. So we've got on ANET trend line that's going from here up like that, and then it takes off and goes even higher. So we'll draw some more trend line that goes up from here steeper. So this looks like it's going to go on up even higher. Arista. So we've got some more movement on the upside on Arista. We'll unsqueeze it. We're going to hit the dynamic moving average at 187.94 and then bounce on up to the 201 level where the upper band lies. That's what it looks like to me, at least. Even though the histogram's showing red now, which would say that we're going to go down, I think it will go down to the DMA at 188, 187, right in there, and then move on up to the outer band. Got a lot of gold showing. That speaks to that trend line that we drew. A lot of gold showing on this who's on top indicator. Shows me that the gold line on the DMA is on top this whole time. ZS. That's kind of sideways. I mean, we had a nice move in this back in May, June, and then we started this long sideways, protracted sideways move. And now we've pulled out again to the upside. We've got a little red bar there that would signal a short trade, sunny band short trade, but it has not been confirmed yet. So it doesn't say that it's going down yet, but tomorrow's bar could tell us that it's going on down to the DMA, which is at 162.56. Slope is still positive. It's still green. Now let's see, grab this. There we go. Still 14 degrees. So we're above all three of the moving averages, which is very positive. How to scan. Good one to trade. All right, let's look at the scanner for a second. That's a good idea. We've got a scanner in TradeStation. And the scanner that I use is for those three moving averages. And I use it for my every day, I do a sunny side of the street scan. Let's see if I run this thing. Sunny side of the street every Sunday night. I write a newsletter analyzing 15 different markets, and I publish that on Sunday nights. And I run this scanner as part of that newsletter and report what out of 11,000 symbols. I go through them and find all that are above all three moving averages and more than 1 million shares traded, price greater than 20 and less than 200. And I look for those symbols that qualify. Looks like we've got 263 symbols now that qualify. Last week, I think there were less than 100. And so now we're showing some bullish moves here. Even though the market's moving down, it looks like it's finding symbols that are bullish. So that's an easy one. You can get this scan on my website, TimingResearch.com. And it's just about finished. There we go. So we've got, let's open it up all the way. Oh, we've got, all right, 38 symbols that qualify. So these 38 symbols are still bullish. These are the ones that I would consider tradable. Google, Halliburton, etc. So that's how I do a scan. Riot, RIOT. Whoa, that's a riot for sure. If I draw a horizontal line, so I draw the attractors on this, we've got right through there, right where we are. We're fighting this attractor. This is definitely resistance. It's a pretty strong resistance at the level we are currently at. And if we change this to weekly, let's see what we get. Horizontal line. So this is struggling with this sideways movement. No matter whether you look at daily or weekly, we've got horizontal resistance. Let's draw the Fibonacci levels here. We could go up to 20 on this one. We're currently at 8.82. We could go up to 20. But that's a stretch. That's a definite stretch on that one. Do you hold that one? Okay, could I repeat the criteria for the scan? Yes, it's anything that's above all three of the moving averages I use, which are 255 and 21, more than 1 million shares traded, and between the prices of 20 and 200. So is that Citibank? Just C? Somebody wants to see that one? And that's on its way down. Let's see if it looks like that on a daily chart. I will be happy to describe my indicators. Hang on a second. So that, yeah, it looks on the daily and the weekly both. It looks like it's on its way down. So the sunny bands are the green right through here, the green bands that surround price. Let's magnify this for a second. All right. So you see price, we see the candles, red and green. And then this green band is the upper outer band, and the green one on the bottom is the lower outer band. So I've got two bands on a dynamic moving average that's in the middle. It's purple and gold lines. This dynamic moving average is calculated automatically, dynamically, with every tick of the market. So it doesn't matter whether you're using 60-second bars or 60-minute bars or 60-week bars. It calculates with every tick of the market, it calculates its own inputs. So you don't have to tell it what length average to use. It calculates its own lengths. Then the outer bands and the inner bands are calculated from that dynamic moving average. They are then dynamic average true ranges from the dynamic moving average. So these are called sunny bands, okay? They're not Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands are completely different. He uses simple moving averages, which are the ones that have the most whipsaw in them. And the reason I calculated my own moving averages is because whipsaw, I found early on, was killing me. I'd make money in the trends and give it all back in the whipsaw. So I am a mathematician. I decided I could figure out something that would not do that. And I spent 3 years working on that, and that's what I came up with. And I've been using sunny bands for 36 years with no changes and no optimization. So that should tell you something. So that's calculated on this dynamic moving average. Okay, sunny bands. Down below here, I have the dynamic moving average histogram, which is the difference between the purple line and the gold line. And if the histogram is on top of the 0 line, that means that the gold line's on top. If it's below the 0 line, it means that the purple line is on top. So it's easy for me to see that. Then this little red and green indicator is slope, and that shows me the slope of this dynamic moving average. Is it flat or is it moving up or down? And it also prints out slope equals, and it gives me the number out here. So if it's red, if it says slope equals minus 1.74, it tells me the slope's negative. If slope is between -5 and +5, that tells me that the slope is pretty much flat, and I don't like to trade when the slope is flat. Then there's one more indicator on the chart, and it's the dots at the bottom that are purple and gold, and they tell me who's on top. That's what it's called, who's on top. So if they're purple, then the purple line's on top, and if they're gold, the gold line's on top. So did you sunny bands? What does that mean? I created sunny bands. So let's see, sunny bands. There you go. And it's available on TradeStation and NinjaTrader. So now we unmagnified it and we're back to that. So you can see I've got 3 moving averages, sunny bands, the histogram, slope, and who's on top all on here at once. How about some more Roblox? Roblox, let's see, RBLX. Oh, I put too many letters in it. RBLX. And that one looks like it's moving up. That one, let's put a little Fibonacci on that. From here to here. And we just passed above 31, which was the 23. So we're going on up to the 38% at 33, in my humble opinion. So we're going to go on up to there, maybe even to the 50% line, which is where this 200 moving average is right now. That looks like a next target to give a try. And the only thing we've got counterexample to that is we've got on the histogram, which is right here, we've got red lines that tell me that this is possibly going to turn on down because the dynamic moving average, the gold and purple, are getting closer together. And as they get closer together, they tend to turn and go the opposite direction. So yes, it's on TradeStation or NinjaTrader. And I don't have NinjaTrader running right now, so I can't show you what it looks like, but it looks exactly like this. Thinkorswim is the most popular platform. That may be true, but I don't have it on Thinkorswim. Sorry about that. We have another symbol for me. Let's look at crude for a minute. So we're right at very close to 90 today. On the West Texas, I guess it got above 90 today. And I do think we're going on up. We've got little wars going on around the world. We're going on up to 93.65, where that attractor lives. And if we look at a weekly chart, so we change this to weekly, look where we can go. We've got a horizontal line attractor right at this level, which is 115. I would not be the least bit surprised to see price move on up to that level. And what's that going to do to inflation? And what's that going to do to the interest rates? Because the Fed's going to fight it. So that would not be surprising to me at all. Gold, that's one of my favorite. Let's look at that. Squeeze this up a little bit. Gold's had a couple of nice moves up here. We've got a trend line that's going from here to here to here. So we're probably going to meet that trend line in the next few weeks, which will take it just above 2,000. And then it'll probably take a little tumble as it hits that resistance and moves back. But I would not be surprised to see it move on beyond that. I also would not be surprised, and I'll show you why, to see it move back to the bottom down here at this other trend line. We've got a flag going on here, our pennant, and that would not be surprising to me to see it go from here to here as it moves back and forth between this, deciding which way to break out. On the histogram, I've got green lines now. These green bars show me that it's expecting price to move on further up. Slope is positive at 19 degrees. That's positive as well, showing me we could move on up. But this purple on the bottom, on who's on top, shows me that the purple line's still on top on the DMA. And that has to turn to gold before it's going to move up very much higher. Robinhood. On a weekly basis, Robinhood's just languishing down there around nothing. Let's see here. If I change it to daily, what does it look like? There we go. On a weekly chart, it's just mostly doing nothing. So we've got a price of $8.97 moving down. We've got a horizontal line down around here at 8. And that pretty much looks like that's where we're going, on down to 8. It surprises me. I come from a long time ago when trading was an extremely serious business, only for the most serious of people who had lots of money to invest in it. And now there are lots and lots of people trading who don't have a lot of money. And I typically find that the people using things like Thinkorswim and Robinhood are the ones that don't have a lot of money, and they tend to blow out their accounts. And I feel really bad about these people pushing the buttons, buy, sell, before they learn all the ins and outs of trading. So if you want to learn some technical analysis, I'd be more than happy to help you. And in fact, I have a free seminar that you can download that I did last year on technical analysis. It's on my website, moneymentor.com, and you can download technical analysis forum for free. I know Thinkorswim's nothing like Robinhood. Robinhood's brokerage and Thinkorswim's charting software. And risk management's definitely important. So my link is moneymentor.com. And my email is Sunny, SUNNY at moneymentor.com. Okay, doke. Let's see what else we have. CCI. And that one's just heading right on down. Let's see what that looks like on a weekly chart. Yep. What about a monthly chart? What does it look like? Okay, so we're going to draw some Fibonacci on a monthly chart. We've got from there to there, and we are right at support on the Fibonacci at the 61.8. And to me, that looks like we're going on down to 54.75. I don't know how long that's going to take. This is a monthly chart. It could take 6 months or more, but it does look like that's where it's headed. What else do we have? Somebody said up to 2000 would be nice. What symbol were you talking about? Were we still talking about gold at that point? JBLU, JetBlue, is that it? Yep. And Sunny Bands would say we're moving on down here to, we're going to attractor right down here at the bottom where we currently are. We could bounce off of that and move up, or we could break it. It's at 441, 439. That's a hard one to call. The airlines are all complaining right now because with the wars going on, they're losing business. I've looked at other airline stocks and they are continuing to move down. So that could follow along with that. And yet it could bounce on this attractor. But the purple line's on top with a negative 17-degree slope. So the odds are it's going to continue to move down. PSA. PSA used to be an airlines here in San Diego. That was Pacific Southwest Airlines, and it crashed over San Diego and killed everybody in the air and killed a lot of people on the ground and went out of business. So PSA now is public storage or pub storage. And we can draw some Fibonacci lines on that. From here to here. And that would say that we've got further down to move to 217. It'd be, and look at all the support that's through there at the 217 level. That would probably be a pretty good buy at the 217 level. Yeah. JP Morgan. Let's draw a Fibonacci on that. JP Morgan could easily move on up, and you know, the chance of it moving on up is pretty strong. With interest rates moving on up, they're finally making some money. So we could move, it just touched the 23.6. We've got a slope of 6.7 degrees. It's going to move up at least to the top sunny bands at 163, and then probably on up to the 179, at least to test that level and see what's up there. Yes, 2000 on gold. That won't take long. Yes, Sunny Bands is available, except until tomorrow. Until tomorrow, Sunny Bands is 30% off. It's not an advertised special. till tomorrow at 5 p.m. It's not an advertised special, but it's something I'm doing for special clients of mine. But if you want to make it use of that, there it is. And it's not this is not something I do very often. I have, in fact, never done it before. No promo code. Just send me an email. I've never offered that deep of a discount before, and I'll probably never do it again. But there it is, just for one more day. Okay, another symbol. The guy just above you said Sunny Bands is $29.45. And I charge a lot for my information and my software because it works. And I've spent years and years working on it, and it's good stuff. Let's see. We're having an SLB. Mike was calling it slob, I think. This is Slumberjay. And we've got a Fibonacci from here to here. So Slumberjay is going up to 66, 64 next, and then it's got an attractor, a heavy attractor, all the way across there at that 50% level. And we'll probably retrace back down to the 38% level before it moves on up higher. This is on a monthly chart, so let's look on a weekly chart and see what we've got. 29. It's a lifetime license, yes, 2,945 for TradeStation or NinjaTrader. And on the weekly chart, Schlumberger looks stronger. Still looks like it's going to 66, but it does look like it's got a nice trend line going on up here for some time. So I don't know. I don't have a calculator out with me right now. So 30% off of 29.45 is whatever that is. That's what you get. Well, it depends on how much money you want to make trading. Let's have another symbol. Let's see here. Let's look again at gold for a second. I used to charge, I'll tell you a little story. Many years ago, when I had professional traders as clients, I charged $50,000 for a one-time license of Sunny Bands and got it because they were people in banks trading $1 billion at a time, and they were happy to pay it. Guild is really in a sideways channel. We're looking at on a daily chart, looking at it moving down. We've got a trend line going from right across here. So we're looking at more down movement on Guild as it moves slowly, slowly, slowly on down. It's touched the upper outer Sunny band. It's in a sell signal, so we're moving on down to the lower band at 74. Any other symbols, or does everybody want to worry about the price of my indicators? Yeah, in fact, there's a let me give you another link. moneymentor.com/quips. If you go there, you'll see what people who use Sunny Bands actually say. These are all unsolicited emails from people who actually use Sunny Bands. Okay. Amgen. Oh, this one's nice. We're going up on this one. We've got a tractor up here at 291.99, 292. So we're going to come down, hit the DMA, which is down at 276. We'll drop to that level and then more than likely bounce back to the 291 level. So if it hits this DMA level at 275 or so, that would be a good buying opportunity. Dell, that sounds good. Dell's got a flag here at the end of a flagpole. So we've got a nice long flagpole. We've got a gap there, which has to be filled at some point. We've got a slow moving flag moving down here on the end of that. And flags are usually broken in the direction of the previous flagpole. So that's more than likely moving on up. Let's look at it on a weekly chart and see what, oops. That's a 30-minute chart. On a weekly chart, we've got the same flagpole with a little bitty flag on the end of it. We've got good support right back here. So I'm not anticipating we'll go any lower than that. In fact, I don't think we'll go that low. Probably gonna, well, it could easily go down to 62.47, which is where the DMA lies, and then move on back up following that flagpole on up. Anything in KRE? What is that one? Spiders. KRE. Let's see what we've got here. We've got an attractor right there overhead that comes back from this congestion back here in, what is this, 2019, 2020. And then we had a COVID fall, and then we've got moving on up through there, and then another fall with a gap, which has to be filled. And it looks like it's doing pretty well. We're going to have to get up to these moving averages. You can see it's less than all three of them at the moment. So it's going to have to break the 21-day moving average first. This is weeks, so 21-week moving average. Move on up to this attractor and break the 55-week moving average before it's going to go on up. And let's look at the NQ. NASDAQ says we're greater than the 200, greater than the 55, and less than the 21. So this is where, and I've got a chart I want to show everybody. You see this? This is the Dow on a monthly chart. This is just a line chart, so you don't have to look at all the candles. And you see this 21 moving average right here? This is a 21 month. And this price has been sitting right on that 21 month for 2 or 3 months now, maybe 4. And I think it's going to break it and move on down to the 55. I think we've got some serious downside action coming down to the 29,800 level on the Dow, which of course is going to have the NASDAQ and the ES coming down there with it. So I think that's where we're going really long term. So let's go back to what we were looking at over here. So I think if we look again at the monthly NASDAQ, you can see the same thing, except that it's got further down to go on the NASDAQ. But you can see that same trend line right here. See, it's not making higher highs. And we've got another trend line coming up from the bottom like that. So chances are it's going to come down to this pennant formation right there. So the NASDAQ looks to me like it's going to hit 13,500. The YM, same answer. Oh, I typed the wrong symbol. At YM would help. And it has Let's draw the same trend line again. It's even tighter. See there, it's the same configuration, and I think we're going to drop down lower. It's less than the 21-week month moving average at that point. So I think we're moving down long term here. Did we do my RCL? Let's take a look. RCL. Let's leave it on monthly for a minute. Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. That one's a hard one fundamentally to look at because it depends so much on disposable income and COVID. As long as people are getting sick, nobody wants to go and get sick. And yet people are traveling. I don't know. There's reasons for it to do well and reasons for it not to do well at the same time. Let's look at this. So I think that's going to drop to the 50% level at 70. So we've got like, what is that, 3 or 4 monthly drops here that in place. It's going to drop on down to the below the 55 moving average, if not on down to the 21. So we've got congestion along in here, which can act as support, but I do think we're going to drop a little lower on that. Let's look at it on a daily chart and see what it looks like. Yeah, see, it's hitting the 21-day moving average, or 200-day moving average, excuse me. And we've got the attractor is right here, and that's where we're going. 75, 77, that's where we're going, I think. There's your USO. Is that the fabric outlet? Oh, look at that. We've got a nice pop up today on that one. And with that, we'll probably have a little bit of a correction tomorrow and a move on up to 83.41. That's probably on news if I'm to guess. But look at the histogram. We've got green, 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 green. So that was predicted. Let me show you this. The Sunny Band's buy signal was right here. So it was down here at this level. The Sunny Bands predicted that buy, and there it is for, let's see, we moved from 75 to 81 in a few days. That made the Sunny Bands pay for itself, didn't it? What else you got for me? I'll take a drink of water while you think about it. SE. Well, on a daily chart, that little guy is sideways. And we've got a sell signal right here on this red histogram. We move it like that and draw Fibonacci retracement lines going from here to here. And we just hit the 23.6 line with a slope, positive slope of 5. But it looks like it wants to come down to the GMA, which is also at the 21 moving average. So I think we're going to come down just a tad and then move on back up. Baba. I do love these Fibonacci lines. Combine them with the Sunny Bands and you've got everything you need. And this is sideways between these Fibonacci lines, and the sunny bands are in a sell signal configuration from back here. And it's been selling off ever since. And the histogram shows purple, so I would think we're going on down to around the 76, 75, 76 level. CVNA, let's look at that one. Carvana. It's a cool concept, isn't it? I like Amazon. I like buying things online. So the whole Carvana idea is pretty cool to me. And yet we've got a retracement down to the 50% line coming next, which will take us down to 29.71. And the sunny bands is still in a sell configuration from up here. Let me show you where the vertical line goes. Right there's where the sunny band sold, and it's been down ever since. So sunny band sold at 57, and we're now at 31. I have on the 15 charts that I do on my Sunny Side of the Street newsletter, which anybody wants, if you put SSS in this chat and give me your email address, I'll be happy to send you a free issue of Sunny Side of the Street. And I put all the vertical lines in there so you can see where I went long and short, but I have to have an email address. I can't just send it to the chat. Or you can just email me, and or you can text me. I give my phone number to everybody. So here we go. Text SSS. There. So just text SSS to me and I'll get your email that way and I'll send them to you. Thank you so much. Hang on 1 second. Okay. So I put the vertical lines on there so you see all the buys and sells and you can see how much money you could have made if you had only had sunny bands. Let's get another symbol or two. BIDU. Let's look at that one. BIDU. We already do that one? Oh my goodness, we got a little drop in that one going on. We've got attractors down here right at the level we're at. You see this? The dynamic moving average, I call it DMA, was flat back here. So during that flat period, that was just completely congested and it carries across to the current price. That should hold it. That should hold further downside action. I don't think I'd be a buyer until I get confirmation that price is going to move up there, but that could easily hold it for you. TLT. Same story on that. Let's look at a longer time frame, see what we've got. Yep. Treasury ETF. iShares 20-year Treasury. Well, Treasuries are just going to keep going down until we're through raising interest rates. Interest rates go up, Treasuries go down. So there's just not much we can do about that one. See, that just keeps going down. I can make the sunny bands go back farther than that. I can say auto detect. There we go. Yeah, that's just on down, moving on down to the east side. Okay. Got anything else for me? JD. Slope is minus 57. I guess that's pretty negative. My little phone alarm's going off to tell me that the market's going to open in a minute, at which time I have to get back to trading. So on the monthly, we've got further down to go on this one, JD.com. There's the attractor. And let's see if we change the time frame to weekly, what we've got. Same story. We're moving down to 1790. Yeah, that's what that chart looks like. And the sell signal on the sunny bands was here. Let's see if I say remain in drawing mode. So the vertical line, we've got a sell signal there. We've got a buy signal here with that's flat. So we ignore it, ignore it. We've got another sell signal here with a buy signal there, but the DMA is flat. So we do nothing. Here we have a buy signal and a sell signal all the way down to there. CPG. Crescent point energy on a weekly chart. They're just kind of moving sideways, aren't they? Let's see what they look like on a monthly chart. Yeah, that's pretty much sideways. I don't think I'd be investing in this one. On a daily chart, well, they've got a nice gap here back a few days ago. And they could move on up to $8.59 from the current $8.44. That's a few cents of potential, but I don't think we're going to see much more than that. Triple QQQ. Well, you saw that my overall look on the Qs and the NASDAQ and the ES and the Dow is all for much lower prices. So this would echo that same thing. We're looking for much lower prices, in my humble opinion. Oxy. This is a daily chart of Oxy. And if we would draw that right there, we're congested in between 3 Fibonacci areas. I think it's going to just continue to play back and forth in this channel. So we've got a sunny band sell signal here and a buy signal here, and we don't have a sell signal yet over here. So it could continue on up until we get a red candle at the upper outer band. Oh, somebody actually meant CPRT, not CPG. Let's try to see what that is. CPRT. And we've got a sunny band sell signal right here. So we go short on that down to the bottom band at 43.11. So that's where I would be short this stock to 43.11. Okay, let's see if we got anything else. Triple QQQ, KTOS. And right there's the sunny band sell signal. You see that red candle right there? We came up to the top outer band, upper outer band, red bar coming down inside the band, and it's a sell signal. We've got the confirmation down here on the histogram. We've got a red bar, and it's at least going to go down to the DMA at 1648. Current price of 17 even. So we're going to 1648, if not on down to the 21 moving average and possibly to the lower inner band, which is at 1549. Microsoft, and then we'll be done. So I got to start trading. There we go. Microsoft has a sell signal up here, a buy signal here, sell signal again, buy signal there that has not been completed. So I think we're going to go on up with this buy signal up into about 347. So this Sunny Band's buy signal has not yet been completed. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Repeat the address for reviews. Do you mean the quips and quotes what that customers have said to me? It's moneymentor.com/quips.html. That's where you read what everybody's sent me unsolicited. Good and the bad and the ugly, all. And I've got one more, HL. Hecla Mining. And we're in a Sunny Band sell signal right there. So we're moving down from, gave it at 449, and we're moving down to 399. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate your being here and your patience and all the symbols. And I'll be looking at my cell phone to see who wants to get a free sunny side of the street. Yeah, $99. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you, David.